Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'm gonna show you how to retake mid on Mirage as a CT in CS2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. By the way, we are doing free giveaways every month. In these giveaways, you can win various CS2 skins and free CS2 course access passes created by a Faceit level 10 coach who has experience in high tier CS2 teams. To sign up, simply visit the CS2 Pulse giveaway page and follow the instructions. Link is in the description. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's start from the entire utility from every single position that you can go through. In a retake towards mid scenario, you can rather play from short. It's a very good position, and from this position you can throw several utilities. For example, in the start of the round, if you want a molly chair, you can definitely do it by standing close to this corner and aiming on top of this green lamp and just running and left click throwing. This mollies off chair instantly, and then you have a clear vision where as you peek out, you don't have to focus on this position anymore. You can focus towards deeper positions like towards top middle, and instead if you want, you can also molly the top of bench. If you want, you can throw a simple lineup like so, or you can throw an under Molotov like so. If you just left click throw while running, you can also molly off that. There's a lot of utility that you can use in terms of Molotovs. If you want to smoke top mid as a CT, you can also do it by throwing this consistent lineup by standing in this corner and then aiming at the top left of this corner in the building, and then aiming above it and slightly more to the left exactly at this position. Make sure to aim exactly here, because if you aim more to the left or more to the right, then the smoke might land differently. So it's very important that you learn this consistent lineup if you want to smoke top middle very well. This smoke is very ideal if you want to take a lot of control and want to cut off the T's so they don't have any extra cover from their teammates who are playing on top of this position, so they can't hold you with the op. That's why from this short position you can throw a lot of useful utility. You can also throw out a simple flash above this building just to quickly peek out, and you can also, instead of all of these positions, molly off the top of mid. However, in my opinion, the best position to molly off as this player is going to be the chair position, because this position is the most crucial one and the easiest to approach from the short position. That's why if you just throw this molly, I think you will be better off throwing it instead of all of these other mollies, because for example, the top middle can be thrown by the other position, which is window. From this position you can throw several utilities. In the start of the retake you can also throw this extra flash. That is the best flash out of all of these because it's the best retake flash in my opinion. You stand close to this wooden plank where you can boost up, and then you look at these dark marks on top and you look at this one and you just left click throw like so, and it bounces off the roof of window and lands on the edge of the window itself. And it's a very good pop out flash, so make sure to use it because this flash is very effective for every single scenario. Besides that, you can also use several Molotovs. If your teammate who molly chair from short didn't molly any other positions because he didn't have any, of course, you can molly chair, or instead you can molly under. But depending on how late you are doing the retake, I suggest still mollying under because it's way better, since usually chair will be definitely cleared once the short player quickly peeks out like so and clears this position. Then he will have a lot of control and you have the info. And as a window player as well, when you peek out window, you can instantly focus rather towards top middle, or you can quickly jump through and clear this position like so. Just quickly check if no one is there. And also this flash does slightly blind the enemy T's who are standing close towards bench, because it lands in a position where if you are holding it like so, trying to catch anyone off guard or standing on top of bench, you will definitely get slightly blinded by this flash. That's why keep in mind that this flash also helps out for the lower part where under is and bench is. In general, the window player is very effective because its main priority doesn't matter if you have an op or an M4, you need to hold the top of middle until your teammates take the control of it, because once you do, then you can focus towards under. But in the start of the retake, you need to focus towards assisting your teammates who are peeking out from short and connector, because the third position is going to be of course connector. This is the most important position and it requires a lot of team play from your teammates. They have to throw a lot of useful utility in order for you to have very good peaks and have a lot of info. That's why it's very effective. It's the best position that you can push through towards middle and take a lot of control. That's why I definitely suggest you use it. As a comp player, you don't really need to throw a lot of utility. The only two utilities that you can throw is a flash above this wall if you want. However, in my opinion, it's not effective because you will have some time before the flash pops and you peek out. That's why I suggest the window player to throw this flash that I taught you seconds ago instead. This flash is way better for the comp players to peek out instantly after, because it flashes the top mid entirely, and then depending on what scenario you're in, you can quickly clear this position on bench and under as well before you peek out, and then you can focus towards top middle, and that's where the mollies come in. For example, if the short player threw the molly, then you instantly know that no one is going to be standing towards chair. That's why I cleared this angle instantly, and you can instantly focus towards top middle. And at that, if you have no one standing here, you can instantly throw a quick molly if no one is watching you, or instead you can just quickly throw a nade deep into the top mid position, so you have a lot of effective damage if anyone is standing with an op and trying to peek you out towards con, window, or short instead. As a window player, your main priority is to hold top middle until your teammates peek out and take the control. Once they do, you can stop assisting them and quickly drop down towards the window edge, and then you can watch under, and you have to clear this area of course as well. And then if you want, depending on what weapon you are with, I suggest if you're playing with an op, then you can instantly drop down and just try to hold under like so. That's why it's a very effective weapon, since it has a lot of long ranges, and you can instantly back off through con if you get pressured. Since you will have the middle control, you don't need to be paranoid about top middle, since your teammates will be handling that. That's why if you have an op, or you see that Ts are playing on a low eco buy and they don't have a lot of effective long range weapons, then you can also drop down with an M4. It's up to you really, but in my opinion, if you are playing with a better weapon, for example an M4, and you know that Ts are playing with AKs, then instead I suggest not dropping down unless you have an op. The window player instead can also smoke the top of mid if he just stands in this certain position. He positions himself in this corner where the flower plant is, and then as he stands here, he looks at the end where these two wires end, and he looks at the end of the left wire, and then he just presses W and jump throws at the same time.
Laying down smoke.
This smoke lands in the same position that the short smoke did, and it covers the entire position, so no Ts can just quickly hold you. However, it does have the slight gap where Ts, if they stand close to this position and have very good vision, they can definitely spot you. However, they might need really good reaction time in order to do that, and in general, if you have this control, you don't really need to pressure it too much. You can just stand here and hold the position and prepare for anyone to peek out. That's why in a retake scenario with the window player, you can always throw the smoke. It's very consistent. You just aim as I showed against this wire's end and just press W as you left click throw at the same time, and make sure to do it really quickly.
Smoke.
And you have a very consistent smoke that smokes the top of middle almost full. And another extra tip for me is if you have window smoke and you want to molly the top of mid, then you can do that by standing close to these wooden planks and then looking at the top, not this crack on the wall but the higher one where this darker dot is, and then you line yourself up straight, so you position yourself close to the window position when you throw the Molotov, and then you just prepare, aim, and then as you stand here, you just quickly throw the molly and it lands perfectly in towards the top of middle. So if you have window smoke, then you quickly position yourself close to this wooden position, look at this line yourself up straight, aim down, run towards window, and then just left click throw, and it lands in the top of middle. Thank you everyone for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. This was how to retake mid on Mirage as a CT in CS2. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment down in the comments below on what you want us to do next, and I'll see you in the next video.